These blacks.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
when we're talking in actual families,
Who's the
real
majority of the
people,
race in this
why
country?
are we talking in percentages instead of real numbers when we're dealing with real people?
Okay, because percentages are real numbers.
No, percentages, dude, that don't even make sense.
Yes, it does.
Percentages are not real numbers.
Yes, they are.
No, they are not.
The main majority of race in this country.
Yes, they are.
White.
Percentages are not real numbers. Real numbers would be
Percentages.
0 through 9. Those are real numbers.
Now I understand that this may be. I understand that this may be difficult, but percentages are real numbers. We
No,
use
I'm gonna have to tell you
in
that
order
if you
to
have
do our
to take
taxes.
percentage of a number, then you're not talking about raw data. You're not talking
We
about
do our
real
percentages.
numbers, and we're not.
We use percentage to pay our
use
taxes.
percentages to
They are
get
real
it.
numbers.
Oh my motherfucker God.
Ooh, my apologies. You know, I was just about to cut this mic on, and then I had to take a phone call from my lawyer, actually. So, you know, had to take that call. But we're back. Let's get this thing started. Shout out to Keep It 100 in the building. Don't none of you niggas get all excited. It's never a personal thing. This is never a I hate you type of thing. But, you know, I, in my own creative way, have to respond. You know, I got to do my little dance, bro. Because, you know, it was too crowded on your dance floor. It really was. You had a lot of niggas on the dance floor reminiscing about their childhood and shit. I didn't have enough room to do my dance. So sometimes I got to go home, stand in my garage and dance by myself. I be, bro. Dancing with myself right now. But I'm glad y'all all came out. Thank y'all for hitting that like button. Share and subscribe. Make your way into the building. We are going to do this really quickly because I'm actually extremely exhausted. I've been running around all day. I done knocked out like 4 or 5 different errands. I had personal business. I had legal business. Hygienic business. I had auto business. I had daddy business. I knocked a lot of things off the list today. I got 6 jobs though. I don't get tired. So we back at it. I have to comment on some conversation that went down last night. I want to respond in my own flair to a particular topic that was laid at my feet, kind of like haphazardly, because this is what happened. I was on the panel with Keep It 100. We were talking about conservatism, and it was great. Nameless Protagonist came up there with his Wakanda Infinity mic, and he kind of set the stage. Like he really came in like kind of like 9-6 Bad Boy Puffy. Like I had to hit him with the remix, right? The nigga came in and just fucked the whole show up. It was dope. But we were having a great talk, and then I had to leave. I had to take care of some shit. It was a long night. That's why I'm tired. So I jumped back on the panel in the middle of a conversation, and they lay a topic at my feet, like laying a dead cat on my doorstep. And as I moved through the conversation, at a certain point, it just realized I realized at a certain point there is no fix to their grievance in this particular moment. Which is kind of what I was asking at a certain point, like, well, what is it you expect? Which I don't really think I got a concrete answer, but I'm going to walk you right into the general topic of discussion before we get really, really into it. Black pilots, are they being oppressed? Are Black pilots being discriminated against? Is the white man clipping a nigga wings, y'all? That was the conversation that we were having. Is the white man clipping a nigga wings?
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
Can't tell me a way that they done that. Then it becomes all that other shit that what's his name was saying earlier. Oh, semantics, this and that. Oh, you trying to get around the issue? No, motherfucker, you're just wrong. Exactly. You can't explain your racism. You want to explain?
We can explain them doing it for a white woman helicopter pilot, but we can't find nothing on Black people.
I just put something in the back chat for you, Marcus. It explains everything you're talking about.
So what I want to understand is Black pilots, right? Can anybody tell me or show me like some sort of some metric or number that shows that Black pilots are less proficient at flying the plane than white pilots?
There is no metric.
Right, there's no metric. So again, then he went into, well,
Okay, that was really weird. The whole thing just dropped the window. For a second, I was about to call shenanigans, but let me see if I can just reopen that window. Okay, it looks like we're good.
For you, Marcus, it explains everything you're talking about.
So what I want to understand is Black pilots, right? Can anybody tell me or show me like some sort of some metric or number that shows that Black pilots are less proficient at flying the plane than white pilots?
There is no metric.
There is no metric. That was the very first thing thrown out. Now, I don't know. And at the moment when this conversation was happening, and I kind of just walked back in, it's like walking into the room in the middle of a conversation. I didn't know what the hell you was talking about. I just got here. But their assumption is niggas being oppressed and shit.
Right, there's no metric. So again, then he went into, well, DEI lowers the standards for Black people to get white jobs. Now, we've heard the term Black jobs, and we know what Black jobs are. What he's basically saying, and people say, well, I ain't never heard him say anything racist. Let me tell you why that's racist if you don't understand why that's racist. You're basically saying that there are jobs that are specifically held for white people, and as a nigga, you can't have those jobs.
You can't have them jobs.
You can't have them jobs. You can't fly a plane, nigga.
Yeah.
That job is not for you.
So that is their contention, right? You are not allowed to fly a plane, nigga. All right. Red Bull gives you wings, but we'll never let these niggas fly a plane.
Even if you went to pilot school, you got all the, all the hours and everything like that. You took all the training, you got in the simulator, you did everything that you got to do to be a pilot. This shit ain't for you, nigga.
Yeah.
It's a white job.
Yep.
So when you tell white people they're taking the white jobs, that means, hey, I deserve to, that pilot position is for me.
Mm-hmm.
No, what that shit was for was to say, whether it be DEI or affirmative action, what we were supposed to do. None of this shit does what it's supposed to do. Let's just say that. But if what it's supposed to do is give the qualified black person a job that people controlling the job would not give him because he's black.
Now, this is what I try to explain, and it's gonna kind of come up, but let me fully get it out, because ain't nobody else on this dance floor but me right now. So I'm gonna do all my dance moves. But if you have, let's say there are 50 black people that are qualified for this job, right? If you hire all 50 of them, then that's all of the black people that meet the qualifications. Now what happens after those 50 is you start to soften the standards, bro. You start to lower the bar. You start to turn your head. You start to let people slide because you need to get niggas in the game. And that's why planes are falling out of the sky. Not necessarily because black people, but because they're lowering the standards in an effort to hire non-white people.
Is there a way for you to share my screen real quick, brother?
Yeah, it is. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull that up.
Be real quick.
I can't. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem. Because it bolsters what you're saying.
So I got to drop. Let me drop that real quick, and then I'm gonna add your shit. All right, there you go.
So right here, we got pilot and race by ethnicity. 2021, 81% white.
You can zoom that in.
Yeah, hold up. How do I do that?
The plus, yeah.
All right, bet. 2021, 81% of pilots were white.
Yeah, you could just listen in. We'll connect later. It ain't like I'm gonna be calling you a bitch ass nigga and none of that goofy shit. But I think it's funny that you believe you can fly and the white man won't let you, bro. I think it's hilarious.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
All of these niggas just flapping their wings and the white man just holding these niggas down, got your chest on the fucking concrete. And you just flapping your wings and shit. It's goddamn shame what they did to black pilots.
21, 2.73% were black. Look at the numbers. Look at the decrease in the white. It's marginal at best. Look at the increase in the black. It is underrepresented. Black folks are underrepresented. There's only what? Let's look it up. Is only 32,000 pilots currently employed in the United States. So a little around that point. 29.3% of pilots are women. 70.7% are men. The average pilot age is 44 years old. So it just goes on further and further. It breaks down that the white man dominates the pilot game. So
it's a white job. It's a white job.
It's a white job. Still, it's a white. So his whole argument is moot.
Now, you guys are calling it a white job. And that's, if you guys want to feel that way about it, whatever. But I think the more practical description of what's happening here is that there's a very particular combination of skill sets and internal motivations that go into these high pressure, high function jobs. And not a lot of people in general are going to complete those tasks. And then being in a majority white country, a lot of white guys are going to fill those slots in. And then frankly, keeping 100 he alluded to understanding the mathematical reality of it. Yet somehow there's a grievance I just don't get.
Right. Again, the reason for that, I mean, let's first start here. I don't think that there's a ton of black men going for that position in compared to white men.
Right away, you're killing the entire argument, bro. Like, this was the end of it right there. You could have just been like, you know what? We just gonna have to take that on the chin. But no, we have to look for racism endlessly, forever.
You know, you got. I don't think that there's a ton of black men going for that position, in compared to white men, right? It's an expensive thing to do.
Yeah,
it's very expensive to become a pilot, right? So let's start there. But those numbers would be different if the playing field was level. And the reality is, let's just keep it real, and it's always been this way. White people don't want to compete.
First of all, the level playing field argument, it almost assumes that you imagine that, you know, there are a bunch of suburban homes, you know, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2-car garage, and a landing strip for a Cessna in the backyard. Like white guys don't just have planes like they do spare automobiles, bro. I don't understand what you mean when you say leveling the playing field.
They just don't.
Yep.
They don't want to fucking compete. And what I don't understand about conservatism as is practiced by these particular black guys, right? Hood is back. Hold on, let me bring him. Is he there? Okay. Conservatism as is practiced by these particular black guys. I feel it like this. When I'm trying to understand, other than whatever, your like ostracization or whatever thorns in nigga size you get to, throw or whatever. I'm trying to understand the end game, right? What the end game is, because you're never gonna become part of that, right? So I'm trying to understand, like, you don't, because it's my belief that black men don't have a home anywhere. I don't think that anybody on this panel or anybody in this chat really fucks with the left.
Nobody.
And I think that can't be said enough. And I think that when we say it, or when we had these sorts of conversations, we sound like we're pumping fists for Democrats, and we're not. And I think that black conservatives need to understand that when we say that. It's something that I used to go through on Bernard's panel a lot. There's a white job, so a white man is supposed to fly this plane. That's
Now, look, I was too polite. And frankly, I never really got the easy layup to just introduce this because it's such a slam dunk, and it only hurts niggas' feelings. But have you guys ever seen the African Air Force, bro? I'm just saying, man. It's an amazing thing to watch.
That's not racist. Come on.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna. Hood, you're back. So I want you to speak to this. Is the term white job, and to me that implies that this job's supposed to go to a white man, because in this society, these are the guys these white men, these are the jobs you want to see white men fill. Would be lawyer, doctor, pilot, all of those functions. These are kind of like things that make the system move. Again, there's no metric that says let me say this. There's no metric that we could point to, not even a meme that says black pilots are less capable of flying a plane than white pilots. But go ahead.
I don't think anybody arguing from a type of a right wing, anybody arguing from a right wing or conservative position isn't going to say that those jobs are black or white by nature. There is no black job, there's no white job, and there's no argumentation for that under the conservative umbrella.
But your guy said it.
He said it though.
What the guy? I don't mean, because I was gone for a minute. I don't think he's talking about white jobs as jobs belong to white people by nature. I think he was talking to DEI. And the problem with DEI is it is literally created with the specific intent to displace what would otherwise be white men. Because when you ask those people about those jobs, they say diversity. We need to bring other people besides who? White men. And
So let me
when
ask
he's
you this.
talking about
Go ahead.
Yeah, the whole point of DEI is somebody looks at a particular corner of an industry and say, hey, this place is too white. There's too many white men in here. We need to add diversity. So therefore, what does diversity mean? Less white men. That's exactly what, and they say it out loud. It's not like I'm, reading the tarot cards and shit. I didn't have to throw some chicken bones into a hot pot to talk to the spirits to know this shit. They say it plainly.
Look ahead.
White men.
So you don't think, so let me ask you this. Do you think there's DEI for fruit pickers? Hello?
Oh,
They might be one or two tall Mexicans,
No. I'm asking this for a question, for a reason. I'm asking this question for a reason. And I'll wait till he gets back. But I want to know where the DEI is for the non-white job.
yeah.
Right? So, okay, if we're trying to displace white men, right? What about the jobs that are held largely by non-white people? Are we trying to push white men into those jobs to make it more equitable?
Don't you just hate when a nigga walks up to the edge of the ocean and he doesn't want to even dip his toe in it? Like, you were right there, bro. You were right there. You were right at you were next door to salvation. You were standing shoulder to shoulder with the truth, and you couldn't even look over and do a little head nod. None of that shit. You were just right there, and you couldn't even understand it. It's crazy how a nigga can restate the conundrum that you presented, and then in his restatement of it, seem to totally grasp it without grasping it at all. It's fucking amazing how that works, right?
For the non-white, for a reason. I'm asking this question for a reason, and I'll wait till he gets back. But I want to know where the DEI is for the non-white job.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, if we're trying to displace white men, right? What about the jobs that are held largely by non-white people? Are we trying to push white men into those jobs to make it more equitable?
That is a great question, my brother. Are we pushing white men into those jobs to make it more equitable?
We're the whites. Nobody ever cares if bad things happen to us anymore.
No.
No, because white men don't want those jobs, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm gonna ask you the question, Hood, again. Is there a DEI mandate for people who pick fruit? Like, are they trying to, make that shit more diverse?
If diversity means more non-white people and fruit picking is done by mostly non-white people, then fruit picking is already diversified by nature, by definition. Therefore, we need not DEI that shit up. It's really simple. You just have to learn the math. Like, once you understand how to input the proper formula, the proper algorithm, then you can solve a lot of these equations.
No, that's such a weird question. What was the build up on that? Because I lost you for a second. I had to reset.
I got you. But why is it a weird question? It's a yes or no question. I'm trying to drive at a point here. Just cooperate with me. Go ahead.
Just like feminism, DEI isn't really aiming at the low tier blue collar stuff. They're aiming for the comfy corporate stuff.
Okay, so the comfy corporate stuff, which is largely occupied by white men, you're saying, well, DEI seeks to displace white men. Well, shit, to be honest, if white men can get jobs up there, they can pretty much get jobs anywhere. Would you agree?
No, I wouldn't necessarily
Why-
agree. I don't understand that statement.
What would be your basis of disagreement for
I
that?
don't know that a white guy can get a job anywhere just because.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. So do you think that the jobs that white men predominantly occupy are more easily done by white men?
I don't know if they're more easily done by white men.
It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no, Hood. Come on, man. Let's be honest. Let's have honest discussion.
No, I think that's a weird framing.
No, it's not a weird framing.
Why would it be more easily done by them? What about
so
their
then the
white
answer is no, right? So then the answer is no, right? So then the answer is no, right? So now that we understand that the answer is no, then those occupations should be more diverse. It shouldn't matter. Whoever's able to do the job because they got the certifications or the education should have the jobs. So why are these? Hold on.
How you get there are two different things, though.
Well, right, but
and who's to say what should be though?
No. What should be is, again, if these jobs.
But that is actually a very crucial point. And this is like one of those things. Somebody said this in the chat the other day when I was arguing with Sharon and them. You guys don't have a proper ontology. Like, you don't have a definitive order to your belief system. And so you kind of go from, this feel good and that feel good. You go from a series of wants, essentially. And there's no mitigation to the wants. It's just a series of varying wants, and these wants range from the greatness to the minute, but there is no understanding of your actual internal order.
Are predominantly occupied by white men. Then what is the basis for that?
Well, what if those are the majority of the guys who are the best candidates?
No, they might be the majority, but as my man just showed us the numbers, there's an 81% versus what was the opposite? Was the black? So only 2% of black men are good enough to fly a plane.
Oh,
I would be if you
not just fly a plane, but fly one commercially. And so I argue that when you start getting really, really into the numbers, and especially with a black American in particular, you will find that only a minority of this minority can perform these high skill, high pressure functions, right? And so when you start to hire for these jobs, you can hire all the black people that are good at it, and you'll run out of them quickly.
No.
So you're saying that black people somehow hold on. Nobody jump in yet, because I want to get to this. So you're saying that somehow black men are less capable of this job than the white guys because it's high pressure or whatever you said.
By percentage, there's a smaller percentage to draw from with black Americans.
No, look. I said it earlier before you came back. Hold on. I said earlier before you came back, there will definitely be a small. I mean, just first of all, the fact that there's more white men, but secondly, because it's an expensive endeavor in the first place. So I don't expect 50-50 or for black men to overtake, the aviation industry.
So should it be 50-50?
No. Listen to me.
Now, that was a stupid question on my part, because he literally said he doesn't expect 50-50, and my stupid question was, should it be 50-50? What I really should have, and I think what I was trying to get at was, if it shouldn't be 50-50, what should it be? Because the one taking issue with that number in particular, if you're taking issue with the numerical reality as it is, then you must also have a desired reality that you would not take issue with, right? So now the question becomes, what do you actually want?
Listen, no, chill. There will definitely always be a white majority in that position, just based on the realities in this country, which a lot of it is based on race. But what I'm asking you is, that's a huge imbalance. I mean, like damn near non-existent, right? So what I'm asking you is, does that represent one's inability to fly an airplane? Like, do those numbers, the 2% of black men are actually pilots? That means the rest of the black male population is just incapable of doing his job for some reason.
I would argue it's a blend of desire and capability. So out of all the black men, only 2% had the proper combination of desire and internal ability to achieve this rare feat.
So you don't think that there's a bunch of black men sitting around fully capable of flying airplanes, but just can't get
bro. A lot of niggas in the projects want to be pilots, bro. Fuck them.
Here we go with the project bullshit. No, bro. I already know. I already gave you. Bro, I already gave you. I already gave that to you. I already gave that to you. I already gave that to you. Let's not do the project bullshit. I gave you. Don't insult me. I gave you that there will be a majority of white men based on the realities. I asked you. Let's be honest here.
Now, see, this is why we had to come back and do this over here in a calmer, more clinical setting, because, you know, he had a little bit of microphone superiority and home field advantage over there. So he got to bully the conversation a little bit. You know, is what it is. That's what happens when you get the home court advantage.
We're not going to do that. Let's be honest. I gave you that you will not have 50-50 when it comes to racial,
So what number are you looking for that would satisfy your blackness?
Whoa.
This nigga.
I mean, because
hey, that white chromosome.
See, niggas got all triggered by the question because, you know, I be saying it the way I be saying it. Niggas don't like when I be doing my dance, bro. That's crazy. Niggas hate when I do my dance. Niggas be dancing all the way. They be dancing machine. Then I do my dance and niggas all of a sudden don't like dancing no more. That shit is crazy, bro.
So what number are you looking for that would satisfy your blackness?
Whoa.
This nigga.
I mean,
That's the Jamaican coming up.
Hey, that white chromosome.
There's your answer, Marcus. There's your answer, Marcus.
Now that we're getting into the other blood. If you're getting the numerical about it,
so let me. No. We're getting. So you want to? So hey, bro, you want to interrupt me like homeboy trying to talk over this chick so he can win the argument? Because nobody's gonna think that you're winning because you're talking over me or you saying crazy shit. What I'm asking you is, you don't think that there's a bunch of capable black pilots that can't get a job anywhere because they're black? That's not what you think. You just think that that's impossible.
You know what I think, bro? I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And it's not even all that complicated. It's really simple. This is what I think, bro.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
That's what the fuck I think.
It's possible, but I don't know if it's true.
It's definitely true. And that's why you got these programs that exist in the first place. There's no reason for that type of disparity in numbers. None. No logical reason, no reason that you want to defend. What my question is why are y'all niggas always, like, y'all are always on that side of the argument? You guys don't find any middle ground. You always are on the same side of the argument, right? If someone is being honest, sometimes they are on the other side. Sometimes. Or they try to find some middle gray area that makes sense. But to me, black conservatives always defend the other side of the argument all the time. I don't even fucking do that, bro. Sometimes, right, bro. And I did it in the beginning of this example. I said to you, and you try to act like I didn't say it. I said to you, it would be unrealistic to expect an equal amount of black pilots as white pilots. Did you not? No, I said that since you've been on the panel. I said it since you've been here. So what I'm telling you is, with that being said, and my blackness doesn't need to be satisfied My fucking common sense does. My
Well,
common sense. So what I'm saying is, there is no reason that only 2% of the entire industry is black. 2%. You motherfuckers are saying, oh my God, 13% is committing all the crimes, but you don't have a problem with 2% being pilots.
What percentage of black Americans have a commercial pilot's license?
Why is it black
That's nothing. See,
Well,
wait,
we're talking about America. We're not talking about Saudi Arabia. So what percentage of black Americans actually have a commercial pilot's license?
I gotta say something real quick. Okay.
Let me see if I can look that up for you.
We're fully aware that there's a pilot shortage, right? And they're trying to hire pilots. So if I'm a black guy and I want to get in a program and they keep on rejecting me because I'm black, and you're in a system that says we need 30,000 more pilots, and you have 10,000 or 15,000 white guys going towards being a pilot. You have to fill the other fucking positions. There's no other white guys looking to be a pilot or qualified to be a pilot. So DEI this in the proper way and put these black men and these women and these other people through training to become pilots. Well, don't forget, the average age is fucking 44. They're on their retirement.
So let me ask you. Hey, Hood.
Point.
Hey, hold on, Leon. Let me ask you a question, Hood. If we got so many black men incapable of flying planes, then what the fuck are they afraid of? Where do you get your
bro? A lot of
no. Where do you get your
like flying a plane is way more complicated than swimming, and a lot of niggas
knock it off, bro. Knock it off, bro. Where do your DEI, where do your black pilots come from if they don't exist?
I'm just saying, am I wrong? I know they sound like two totally disparate, separate things, but if a lot of niggas can't even swim, like if a lot of niggas can't actually manage themselves in 8 feet of water, why do you think it's such a shock that niggas can't manage themselves at 10,000 feet altitude? Niggas do well on solid ground, okay? Football, baseball, basketball, track and field, boxing, MMA, all of that shit happens on solid fucking ground. Yeah, yes, I can swim. I swim in the ocean, all right? I'm different. I'm on some other shit. My white card has been laminated permanently. But niggas, though, niggas are good on an even surface, bro. Real shit. You don't see niggas doing shit like jousting, fucking polo. You don't even see niggas playing water polo. Like niggas are good. Niggas are great, excellent, fabulous in a particular context, right? On a very flat plane. You know what I mean? Like rapping, singing, dancing, the jig. Niggas do great on a solid, even plane, but up there, down there in the water, nah, bro, nah. We ain't built for that.
I never said they don't exist.
Okay, so you asked me, what's the percentage? My thing is that really doesn't matter because if you have no, bro, I did it to you before. I'm not going to do it in the middle of a discussion. You remember that time you said that other bullshit and I did a video disproving you? I can do it again. What I'm saying to you is, bro, if you're worried about displacing white men, right? Because the airlines don't train pilots. They don't. So what I'm telling you, what I'm asking you is, if you're worried about, and I don't know why your black ass is worried about displaced white pilots. I don't get it. But what I'm asking you is,
nigga, this your issue.
You said they're displacing white men. That's what you said. I didn't say that. What I'm asking you is, and don't dodge the question, if there's not enough capable black pilots, then why the fuck are white pilots worried about being displaced?
How are
Because
they?
it's policy. It's a policy now. You're actually going to overlook white men for the sake of other people. So now they have
No, you
lawsuits on the
can't do
books.
that.
You
You
can't
can't
do
do
Can I
that.
actually
It's, no,
speak,
you
bro?
if
Bro,
you
can I
if
actually
there's
speak at all?
if
Can I
there's
speak a
no
little
black
bit, bro?
pilots,
Because you talking down to me for
go
minutes
ahead.
on end. You have
Go
to
ahead.
let me speak a little bit,
Now you interrupted me
bro.
a few times, bro. You did.
But you still go for minutes on end with a word or two. And like, come on, let me say a full sentence
No,
or two.
because you be ducking questions, bro. But go ahead, bro.
I don't duck. I'm here standing in
Yeah,
the paint.
yeah,
But my whole
yeah, you
point
do.
is that when you
There's
raise
a
the
pilot
wait a
shortage.
second. I
Let him
can't
talk.
fight
Let
you
him talk.
all.
Let
I
him
can't
talk. Let
fight
him
you
talk.
all.
Let him talk.
When you raise the question about the DEI issue and then black pilots in particular, it has to matter how many black pilots there are, because if you don't have a lot of black pilots to begin with, it's hard to argue that you're being discriminated if you're a tiny minority. It is only a handful of y'all out there. So that's one thing. Now, when it comes to the actual white men of it, if there's a pilot shortage, you expect the company to hire who's actually just the most qualified to fly the plane. And we both agree that you're more likely to get a lot more white men in the job. And so I wasn't trying to be completely an asshole when I asked you what's the magic number, because if let's say that
I
the
factored that
place
in
was,
already, though, bro.
let's say that the
And
place
you
was
keep saying the same
100%.
shit over and over, bro.
I'm
And
getting
that's
to a
why I'm
final
interrupting.
question. I'm
'cause
not gonna
Go
go
ahead.
on. I'm getting to the
Go
actual
ahead.
question of it.
Okay.
Let's say you want to implement your program to hire more black people. If it was 100% white guys before, what's the number you're looking for?
I'm not looking for a number. When I'm
If you're not looking for a number, but you're upset about the numbers to begin with, then you're full of shit. You need to actually have a complete position. You have an incomplete position. It's like you halfway there. Stand on it all the way. What do you want?
and I keep saying this shit again and again. I said there are definitely more qualified black men than what we're seeing. Niggas go to the fucking military, bro. Fuck all this going to flight school and shit. One of my boys went to the fucking Air Force when we were kids.
I mean,
there's black.
Hold on,
one second. Let me respond to him. And that's where you learn to fly a plane for free. I'm out in fucking Vegas, Aviation fucking Central. We got Nellis Air Force Base, where these dudes are doing fucking maneuvers and shit all day in the air with these planes. What I'm telling you is, it's not that I'm looking for a specific number. I'm not wanting, it needs to be half and half. I'm not, bro, I keep saying this shit over and over. What I'm telling you is, what the numbers are does not reflect the amount of capable black men flying planes. And the reason we know that.
What if they really do, though? What if the numbers of pilots that we currently have, which is roughly 2% flying commercially, what if that literally represents the median amount of people, black men in particular, that can actually do that job? What if it simply is what it is? What are you gonna do now?
That is, if you can do a program, and what Shango was showing us was numbers of white percentage going down and black percentage are coming up. Guess what? That means these motherfuckers exist.
Yes.
You can't pull a black capable pilot out of thin air. He exists. So that means go back and look at the motherfuckers that applied and actually get them the fucking job, instead of overlooking them because you want the white guy flying the plane, because that's what our society is comfortable with.
Let me pull it back up so you can see it.
And Marcus, what I'm saying is,
now shout out to Uncut Underground. We're all supposed to bump heads like wild rams on the mountainside later on. We're gonna have a clash of political titans, and so I appreciate you coming through and keeping an eye on the ongoing conversation here. But we're gonna get to this point. What if we actually are at the cap. And this isn't, black men are just broadly incapable. We're talking about like how many niggas can actually pilot a starship type of skill level, right? And so I'm telling you, what if it's 2%? What if it's just 2%, bro? Is that a bad thing? Are we supposed to cry about that? Like, let's be happy with those 2% of niggas that stop being haters and shit.
Saying is, we know affirmative action maneuvers funds to areas to train people to work. So if they do that and they still don't have enough pilots, it's like, hey, DEI the shit and get some black guys and other people in there. So those people get in the program, learn how to fly, then they fill out an application, and they're saying, "Oh, it's a nigga, or it's an Indian, it's a Chinese guy." Keep on hiring the white boys, and you still have a shortage. So they're like, DEI, hire the black guys.
Well,
you have a pilot shortage. No white guy is losing a fucking job. It's bullshit.
I want to show you something too right here. You see there's a retraction. So it peaked in 2017 at 87% white men, 2.97% black men. Then it retracted. The black number is disproportionately underrepresented in here. It actually, 2019, go ahead.
Who is to say what underrepresentation means? Because who's to say your representation in any particular field has to tack on to any particular number? Like, you're starting out with an assumption that like only God could even make such a claim. Like, you don't belong here. Who the fuck are you to tell me that? And then on top of that, if you can only get those 2% in there, then why is that a problem in and of itself? Like, that is just what you can do. Because honestly, it sounds more like you land where you land as opposed to you're supposed to be where I tell you to.
I'm just crunching some numbers because I'm finally in front of my computer here. And we were talking about the commercial airline. 2-point-something% of black men have a commercial pilot's license. And I just looked up the military itself, and about 2.7% of the military pilots are black or African American. So is the military discriminating against black men?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it all gets particularly retarded. I swear to God, this is where it goes bad. This is why we had to have this show. Because now at this point, you're dead to rights, bro. You are dead to fucking rights. There's no logical position you can latch on to dig yourself out of this hole you're in. The honorable thing to do would be to consider the new information and weigh it against your current reality.
How do it equivalate?
That's all you had to do was try to figure out, make the attempt to figure out how it all equivalates, bro. Because you know what I do? I try to equivalate.
And I just looked up the military itself, and about 2.7% of the military pilots are black or African American. So is the military discriminating against black men?
You want to target that, Marcus? Or?
So are you saying, okay, so you're saying 2% of black men are in the Air Force?
No, this is the military.
Pilots.
So the Army has pilots, and this is pilots. So there could be helicopter.
You want to share that with us, though?
Ospreys.
So this is what I need you to do. I need you to share that on screen.
I gotta drop down and I gotta come up on my laptop. So give me 1 second to reset this whole connection now.
Or you can send me the link.
The screen is black.
Well, no, because it's on my laptop, so it means that it's quicker to just open up your stream on my laptop.
So your argument was that only 2% have a pilot's license and 2% are in the military.
Yeah, in the military, that's all the branches of all the pilots. Only 2% of those pilots are black. So that seems to be the number going forward, right? Do me a favor, is the link in the chat somewhere? Let me join from my
Marcus,
from my laptop.
Yeah, what's up?
So basically, black men go to the military because they can't afford a plane when they're younger to train. Amazing.
Yeah.
No. In the place that is the most common pathway to a career in aviation, which is the United States military, you can essentially learn how to fly for free. You just have to show desire and aptitude, and maybe a little bit of luck. Somebody got to actually give you the okay, probably, but it can be done. It has been done. It has been done many, many, many times. Quite famously, you know, shout out to the Tuskegee Airmen, the Red Tails, and all of that historical movie Hollywood stuff. But right now, only 2%, 2.7% of military pilots are black. And maybe that's just where we land. And maybe there's a reason for that you guys have not considered in your quest to find the racisms.
And one thing, as you guys look up, isn't it ironic they said that black men can't fly a plane, and we were the inventors of it? Regardless of what they said, it was some white person that developed in 800, and we all know factually from looking at it, a black man was first to create that.
God damn, it's always one of these niggas, bro. I know how I feel, honey, because you know I got one of them niggas that be coming around here too. But you know, you got your own guy, I got my guy. But it's always one of these mythological niggas and shit. Black people invented planes and shit.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
I know, bro. I get it. It's the burden that we carry as content creators, and especially in the black hemisphere. You know, niggas be mythological and shit.
Ain't that something? So how's the career of flying?
Hey, you sound like a hotep right now, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that. I don't know. You know, I don't want to dig into that.
Yeah.
So are we saying right now, based on numbers alone, are we going to argue that the military is discriminating against black men who want to fly plane?
No, most black guys
No, of
aren't
course not.
thinking to go to the military to fly a plane. You have middle class kids that grow up on like Fort Hood, Fort Belvoir,
Right.
they're
Well, they
near a
crack
base,
us.
and they're like, "Hey, I want to do that." And so once they graduate, they enlist, and they're saying, "I want to be a pilot." Most black kids that enlist are trying to take care of their family and go to college.
Right. So there's desire and ability, right? You have
No,
to
it's
even
not a matter
dream
of
it
desire.
before.
Already.
You have to want it
again.
before you even do it.
Right. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. Oh,
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
see, niggas just got a dream, bro. Niggas don't dream about being pilots, bro. Niggas dream about they baby mamas. Niggas dream about rims and shit. Niggas dream about fitted caps and shit like that. Niggas dream about Jordans and shit.
It's not ability, it's who pushes them. As simple as that.
Oh, now it's who pushes. Nobody's discriminating, bro. Most niggas aren't even trying to do that, and not all the niggas that are trying, only some of them can do it.
Niggas
It's access. It's really about access. Like unless you're going to the military, you got to have a considerable amount of money.
How many
Because
white
I
boys
know-
have planes in their backyard, bro?
I know people. No, first of all, listen. I know a kid that was a crop duster. Okay. I kind of got a little knowledge of this shit myself because actually this kid was supposed to show me how to fly. Real shit, real talk. When I was upstate, when I was a CO, he was a CO and he was a crop duster. But we never got to do it. You say what now?
Had a little side business.
Well, that he did it for, I guess, the people up there. But what my point is, let me ask you this, right? Because again, I already said, I keep saying that most black people, just because of the realities, I keep finding myself saying this shit over and over, and you keep not hearing it. Most black people are not going to have access to that, right?
Yeah, basically.
Now, as far as the military is concerned, I see that number, right? So when you say a certain amount of black men have a commercial pilot's license, which implies that you got to spend money for that.
Correct.
Right? So it doesn't mean
Not
that
necessarily.
No, definitely necessarily. What are
Let
you
me
talking about?
explain why. I'm
The
explain why.
screen is
Okay,
black
Because,
explain
again.
why.
The screen is black again.
bro,
Can you put this back on the screen?
My
because
bad, I hit the
for
button.
a lot of people, the traditional path to
Marcus, the screen is
commercial
black.
piloting is the military. So a lot of guys do their hours, their combat and all that, and then they get out. I'll go fly for Delta. So people joining the military is the free,
Marcus,
cheap
the
way to
screen
learn
is
how to
black.
fly.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying, we're talking about being licensed. So
When you come
understand
out
that.
of
No,
that
no, hold on,
already,
hold on.
like halfway
No,
there, though. That's what I'm saying.
right,
It's a
but
funneling
having
system.
bro, having the ability to fly a plane and being licensed to do it is not the same thing. You do understand that, right?
Yeah, but when you come out of the military, though, you're already
I
golden. That's my
I
point.
get it. I'm not arguing against that, but you framed it about being licensed. That's what you said when you talking about commercial aircraft.
Fair enough. You still have to get commercially licensed.
Because
but
I might be able to drive a truck, but I might not have a class B.
right. No, but my argument is this, though, that when you come out of the military, you already been put through the training, and you're more or less
I
going to
get
be
it.
a desired candidate.
We're saying two different things. Again, you got to pay for your fucking license, bro.
Right.
I understand
Fair
the ability to fly a plane either comes from the military, or maybe you flew a plane to dust some crops, or you went to school. But that fucking license, again, you framed it about license. I'm only responding to the way you framed it, that
Right.
this percentage is licensed to fly commercial aircraft. That shit costs money. It do.
Right, but notice the same percent within the military where it's free, though.
No, again, that's the education, not the license. You don't.
No, you're trying to make this argument that somehow there is a financial barrier, as opposed to, which is maybe a more realistic argument than somehow racism and systemic oppression or whatever. White man, and the ghost of the white man is everywhere, whatever. At least the financial argument has a little bit more teeth to it, but I don't know if that is really, really, really why. It's a good try. It's a logical place to go to if you're looking for alternatives, and I salute you for looking for alternatives outside of just it has to be racism. Maybe niggas just ain't got the money to maintain the credentials. Fair enough. I don't think niggas is as poor as we arguing now. You wouldn't argue that niggas is poor. And a dude who came out with a pilot license from the military, probably not a poor guy. I mean, shit happens. You can roll the dice and crap, but odds are you come out of the military, you are a pilot in the military, you're probably not going to be a poor guy going forward in your life. Guys who've made good decisions all that way are probably going to continue to make fairly good decisions going forward.
Get your license in the military.
So you can learn how to fly the plane and have that as your
bro.
profession.
You're gonna say this over and over, and I'm gonna just keep saying what I'm gonna say over and over. It's not the same thing. Understand? Again, you get the knowledge from the military, not the license. You're talking about how many black men are licensed to fly commercial aircraft. Okay, we're not talking about the education. Don't talk about the military again. I understand, and I agree with you. See, this is me agreeing with you, right? This is me agreeing with you.
We're gonna move past
Marcus,
that.
we have a black screen on a. People can't see us on YouTube. Thank you.
Right. So
the charge was that black people were being discriminated against somehow, and now what I'm trying to do by pulling up the military numbers is to show you that of all the black people who even try to do this, when you go to the place that is easiest to get done, only about 2% of black people, 3 at the most, 2.7 rounds up to 3. But roughly 3% of black people can even make it. And so then when you get into the commercial world, do you think it's an accident that roughly the same amount of black people can only make it in the commercial world?
So let me ask you a question.
This is the number where people are.
Hold on.
And that's my whole point. What if we just are where we are, bro? Right, meritocracy is racist. That's the argument, but maybe we just are where we are for a lot of other incidental reasons that don't just align with racism.
Hold on. Okay. So are you ready? You ready for me to? Because you're framing it as though only the guys who went to the military and only the guys who have licenses, that only those two groups exist as black pilots. Do you know that there are black men who did not go to the military, right? And they're not commercially licensed pilots that could fly a plane, right? You do understand that there's a third group
Those
of
are
black
like
men.
hobbyists and Cessnas and
No,
shit
no,
like
fuck
that. That's the
hobbyists. I'm
lower
talking
level.
about no.
You have a whole bunch of Nigerians.
Hold on.
I know this nigga did not say a whole bunch of Nigerians.
No, fuck hobbyists. I'm talking about no.
You have a whole bunch of Nigerians.
Hold on. No, fuck hobbyists. I'm talking about no.
You have a whole bunch of Nigerians.
Hold on, bro. Fuck hobbyists. I'm talking about no.
You have a whole bunch of Nigerians.
Hold on.
No, we are not flying the Nigerian skies over here, brother. That is the last move you are gonna make. This is America, all right? I thought this is America, people. And fuck we need Nigerian pilots for. I thought black American men could fly planes, goddammit.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
Now all of a sudden this nigga want to lean on the Nigerians. Traitor is backstabbing niggas.
Hold on, bro. Let me talk to him because he's talking over me. Conservative. Do you understand that there's a group of black men that paid their way to flight school, did not go to the military, and do not have a license?
Who are these niggas? These niggas work for the goddamn CIA?
Okay. I didn't know that, but okay. Happy for that. But go on to the
Okay,
next
so
part.
no. So now that I've said that, and this is the part where I talk and you listen, because I heard you.
Yeah, honey. You don't have to touch that. That's our personal thing. I mean, that's my personal thing. You know, this is how we vibe over here. We are extremely nationalistic here. You know, black, white, whatever. You know, we would prefer one of us get the job as opposed to one of them. You know, there's an ancient desert proverb that goes roughly something like, you know, me versus my brother. Then it's me and my brother versus my cousin, our cousin rather. And then it's me, my brother, and our cousin versus everybody else, right? That's how we roll in America. So, you know, we don't need to, you know, have the Nigerians pump up the black pilot numbers. I don't like that game.
What I'm telling you is we don't know that number. And what I'm telling you is you can't make the whole number about the guys who went to the military and learned, who may or may not have licenses, because you don't get your commercial license in the military. You get your education to fly a plane. You still have to get licensed to fly a commercial aircraft after the military. Does that make sense? It's a yes or no question, bro. I know you don't want to say it makes sense because
you told me don't talk and just listen, so I was listening.
No, don't do that. I ask you a direct question. You can talk when you can answer a question.
Don't get all authoritative.
Hood, don't do that. You can answer. You can. Now we're trying. All I hear is tap dancing, bro. I'm gonna ask you the question again. Does one have to get licensed after they leave the military?
Yes, you need a commercial license.
Okay. And does one have to get commercially licensed when they leave flight school?
No.
What are you talking about? No. Yes, you do.
Flight school is a simple thing. For like
if I go to driving school, I still have to go get my Class B, right?
Commercial license, though, right?
No,
driving
bro,
school isn't necessarily a commercial license, though.
Hey,
That's a different level.
Bro.
Right. Now, listen. You can attempt to clean that up in this moment. And that's fine. I won't fight you here and now, but in that moment, you set yourself up completely wrong. And so when I said no, I was actually right. That's what I'm saying. Like, getting a pilot's license is one thing. That is you flying privately, your own little thing, right? But then you have to get a commercial license, which is another hurdle. And I'm not even going to claim to know the next steps, but I know you don't just get your pilot's license flying a little Cessna from a barn and then now you can work for Delta. now you're driving a fucking Airbus. No, that's not what happens.
Again, does one have to get licensed after they leave the military?
Yes, you need a commercial license.
Okay. And does one have to get commercially licensed when they leave flight school?
No.
What are you talking about? No. Yes, you do.
Flight school.
There you go, trying to clean it up after the fact, bro. Don't try to clean it up after the fact, bro. Just keep dreaming, bro. Just keep believing.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
After they leave the military.
Yes, you need a commercial license.
Okay. And does one have to get commercially licensed when they leave flight school?
No.
What are you talking about? No. Yes, you do.
Flight school is a simple thing. For like
if I go to driving school, I still have to go get my Class B, right?
Commercial license, though, right?
No,
driving
bro,
school isn't necessarily a commercial license, though.
Hey,
That's a different level.
Bro, do you have to get commercial? Do you have to get commercially licensed after you leave flight school, driving school, CDL, whatever? You got to get licensed, right?
These are levels. No, I'm trying to explain something. These are levels, right? So you can fly privately and your small personal craft, and that's a type of license, right? You can now fly professionally for a company, and that's a different license.
No, we're talking about commercial. No. I'm not going to let you deflect. We talking about commercial aircraft.
We have to clear it up.
We're talking about commercial aircraft. We're talking about commercial aircraft. We're talking about commercial aircraft. You're moving the goalposts. We're talking about commercial aircraft. Commercial aircraft. You need a license, yes?
Right. Now, here's the thing. I am the one that is actually clarifying the actual reality of it. And now you want to latch on to the reality that I initially clarified. That's the point. You want to agree with it, but you didn't understand me in the beginning when I made the distinction. And that's what's funny about it. It's like, bro, I know you're right now because you're now agreeing with me after telling me how wrong I was. When I first started out, this is the order of it, right? You learn how to fly. That is one level of it, right? Simply learning how to fly. You know, it's the same thing. When I was sailing, right? I had to learn how to sail. And then upon learning how to sail, I go down to the DMV and take the little test at the DMV, and they give me a new driver's license with a sailing implement. It's like a little anchor on it. So now I'm boat people, right? And that was a great moment for me in my life because a lot of you niggas can't even swim. So you don't even know what boat people is like, right? And so I learned how to sail, and then I got the official boat people thing, right? So I got the anchor on my ID card, but that does not mean that I can now drive the goddamn Staten Island ferry. I can't drive a cruise ship. I can't captain a boat professionally, right? But I can take my little piece of shit sailing boat and fuck around in Coney Island Harbor. And it's the same situation when it comes to flying, right? There's levels to it. And all I was doing was explaining the levels to it. And now all of a sudden you claim to understand the levels to it.
Yes.
Do you get that in flight school?
Okay, fine. Let's just say that so you can move on.
Here we go with the stuttering shit. It's a yes or no. Why is it so hard for you to say?
I just explained.
You ain't got to explain shit. You just got to answer my question. Do you get your license in flight school?
No, you don't.
Okay, do you get your license in the military?
It's just like the military. You get license.
Fuck what it's just like. Do you get your license in the military? 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 You do not get your license in the military. You do not get your license in the military.
Objection. Badgering the witness. Judge, he's badgering the witness. Come on, please. Objection.
So you do not get your license.
Bro, the answer is no. The answer is no, and you know it's no.
Just monologue.
You know it's no.
When you're ready. When you're ready.
Monologue, bro. I asked you a question. You don't want to answer the question. That's why I'm talking over you because you want to. Bro, you want to make leaps and bounds, bro. It's not a bad question. No, you just don't want to answer the question because my point is that people still have to pay for their license. Okay? People still have to pay for their license. The education doesn't necessarily come with a license. That's something you have to pay for. That's something you have to maintain. Yes or no? You're not going to answer the question, so I'm going to answer it for you. Yes, you do. You want to dance around the shit, bro. If we're going to do these things, you got to be honest, bro. If you ask me a question, I'm going to honestly answer the shit. You showed me the percentages just now. I've been said that you're never going to have equilibrium among the races when it comes to this pilot shit. But there,
it's like the principal was yelling at me for a minute, but I was right though. But the principal was still mad at me, bro. I swear to God, I feel like I've been here before.
There are a lot of black men who are capable of flying planes that don't get the fucking job, and we know that.
But you now have to tell me what number satisfies you, because if 3.
I told you, I answered that question already.
I told you the number that you got, then that's the number you got. Why assume that there's anything else going on?
Hey, bro, you keep asking me a question I already answered because I don't bob and weave like you do. I said to you, I'm not necessarily looking for a particular number. I know that
So
that
what are
shit.
you looking for?
Okay, so you're talking over me now.
We already said it.
You asked me a question.
It's literally a pilot shortage. They have people in training.
Hold on. We got to stop. You know, it's cracking. Yeah. We shout out to our roasting. You know what? Let me just give a quick thanks to a Chocolate Bunny donating, gifting a membership, and shout out to Carmen for becoming the new member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the church. Shout out to the 2 ladies of the church. Please take your seats in the front row, ladies.
Get it again. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. I come in the name of Jesus. Repeat it after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
But I'm sorry, this comment made me choke a little bit. Shout out to Erosin. He says, just joining, thought this was an R. Kelly appreciation stream, which is something that's really needed in these end times. Wish it was. Kind of disappointed. Well, you know, here's to you, Erosin. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I believe I can fly, and I believe you can fly too, brother.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
See a black resume, they throw that out the window. They hire all the white guys. There's still a massive shortage. They see 10,000 more black guys and they throw it out of the window. If they're doing that and you're running a business and you say, hey, would you engage in a DEI program to make sure that those black guys don't get their resumes thrown out the window? Would you do it?
He's worried about white jobs.
Are you asking me a question?
Oh,
no business is gonna. No business is gonna go out.
I can't, bro.
Calm down if you want to hear the answer. No business is gonna go out of business just because they don't want to hire black guys.
What is it? What are you talking about? Go out of business?
What type of dumb shit is that?
If there's a pilot shortage, then you're losing business, right?
No, bro. What he's saying is there are white and black pilots applying for those empty positions. Yeah. And what typically happens is they hire the white guys. There's no threat of going out of business. There's always guys trying to get the jobs. They typically choose the white guys, regardless of qualifications. The unqualified guys, first of all, ain't no unqualified guys coming out the military. Ain't no unqualified. If you complete school, you're qualified. Correct. Okay.
Yeah. You're still dealing with a shortage.
When you start your job at these commercial airlines or any airline, you're flying with somebody. You ain't in the plane by yourself and he's unqualified, he's gonna crash. No, you're the what is it? The first that's the captain and the what is it? The first the other guy, the second pilot.
The backup pilot, the co-pilot.
The co-pilot, the other guy. There's two guys in there.
Niggas don't even know how planes work, bro. And you up here
now I
worrying
know.
about black pilots and shit. You see what the fuck I'm talking about? 3%, nigga. 3%.
Hold on. So niggas don't know how planes work.
Take your 3% and be
So why
fucking
don't you tell us?
Yeah, niggas don't know what the fuck is going on in the cockpit. Hell, I don't even know what's going on in the cockpit. I see all these dials and gauges and shit. I think we can go to the moon in this shit, bro. I see all this equipment and I see all this gear you got. I assume we can take this motherfucker to the moon. You worried about all the black pilots. Niggas don't know what's going on up in that cockpit, bro. That's a special skill set, my nigga.
First officer. That's what it's called. That's what the guy's position is. And I didn't read that anyways. First officer. So what I'm asking you is, since these guys are going to be up there with a guy, I mean, when you learn how to drive a truck, you're with a guy that knows how to drive a truck. So what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Capability. You fly the shit enough, you're going to fly the plane.
Listen, it's getting late, and I'm gonna have to leave you guys. I'm gonna say this and go, bro.
Hey,
we're looking for racism.
I got a question now.
Where it just doesn't apply. There's some other places to find racism, but the numbers don't support you here. I mean, the military's got the similar numbers in the commercial world, so something else is an obvious explanation.
So then let me ask you this: then why do?
No more last questions. Let me jump to this last thing because we're almost at an hour and a half, and I said I wasn't going to take forever at this, but we're going to move to the alternative explanations because maybe it's not the racism that's keeping niggas out of the air. Because I'm not opposed to a black pilot if he can fly the plane, if he can do all the damn things. Fine, let him up there. As long he's a guy, right? It's a dude, right? I'm way more sexist than I am racist, I suppose. But as long as he's a dude and he can do all the things, yeah, let him have it. Let him have it.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
Now I'm going to share something with you guys, though. This is from what's it called? Flight Magazine. Flying. All right, we're flying. We're in the air. We're doing what the white guys do. Why are there so few African American Air Force pilots? The U.S. Air Force has fewer than 300 active duty black pilots, and one just quit. Here's why. This is in 2022. Now it starts out talking about the tradition of black flying. This guy's uncle was in the Tuskegee Airmen. My family is the reason I ended up in the Air Force. Walker told Flying Magazine. My dad's uncle was a Tuskegee Airman. He flew P-51s in Germany. That's the legacy I grew up with and grew up underneath. So when you're a kid, you're searching for heroes, and one happened to be physically in your house by way of story, you kind of don't have a choice, right? So this guy, fucking pedigree, right? That's literally the definition of pedigree, right? I'm a military man. I'm a flying man. I come from a line of military flying men. We do the damn thing, right? Now, let's read further. The question is, why are there so few African American pilots today? Certainly, there's no policy in place that prevents that, but there's just something where maybe it's a recruitment issue, maybe it's a retention issue, maybe it's the day-to-day life of these pilots, said historian Michael Hankins, curator of the U.S. Air Force history at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum in Washington. Are they experiencing racism throughout their careers in small ways that are so frustrating it is hurting retention? Because, racism, first thing niggas always want to ask about, right? The IG found that enlisted Black Air Force service members were 72% more likely than their white counterparts to receive Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 15, non-judicial punishment as a form of discipline, which can include limited confinement, arrest in quarters, extra duties, or forfeiture of pay for incidents of minor misconduct. Black service members were 57% more likely than white service members to face court-martial. Let's stop right there for a minute. Let's just stop right there for a minute. Maybe niggas don't really deserve to fly. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe a lot of you niggas don't deserve to fly. You know, some of us have wings, but we don't know why. Goddamn. Goddamn. I don't know what it could mean. I don't know what it does mean. I'm only speculating as to what it could mean. I don't claim to have answers, bro. I'm just a guy that asks questions, man. I try to ask as many questions as I can possibly ask until I get to something as close to the truth as I can possibly get. And what if a lot of niggas just don't deserve wings, bro? I mean, again, unless you're going to say that there is rampant racism in the Air Force, then I think there is maybe a difference in the behavioral set of Black Air Force members as opposed to like the non-Black Air Force members. I don't know, maybe. Well, it's really only doing Black and white, but you know, that's what it's doing. Those are the numbers we've been given. According to Flying Magazine, because you know they looked into this for us. They helped us out. They're good like that. Other findings in the IG report included that young Black enlisted service members were nearly twice as likely to be involuntarily discharged for misconduct compared to white enlisted service members. It goes on. Black Air Force service members were 1.64 times more likely to be the suspect in an Office of Special Investigations criminal cases. Put a 1 in the chat if you have an older relative, probably a female who watches Navy NCIS. Was it criminal NCIS? Whatever the fucking Navy crime show is. Do one of you guys have an older relative who watches the NCIS crime show? Yeah, they made that whole genre of TV apparently because niggas be getting it in apparently. Who knew? Who knew niggas be getting it in, on, and near the water? I had no idea niggas was so aquatically criminal minded. This shit's wild. That shit is wild. You see that now it's all coming together, right? Now the shit is starting to make sense. Now you see what happens when you dig a little bit, when you ask questions, when you expand your reach. You're like, oh, maybe it's not racism. Maybe niggas be trying to steal the boat and shit. Niggas be trying to steal the plane. Niggas be trying to sell missiles on eBay and shit. Bro, it's all kind of things. You never know. You never know. There's more. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. Black Air Force service members were overrepresented in support career fields while underrepresented in operational career fields, which could impact promotion opportunities. What that means in blunt, plain language, Some guys do the warring and other guys do the supply line. You need both. You need the entirety of that whole monster to actually complete war. But if you look at the operation of the military, there's essentially 3 levels to the whole thing, right? There's the command who makes plans and decisions, and they accept your loss, right? When they talk about acceptable losses, that's command issues, and those are the guys who accept your loss, right? Now, outside of that, you got the guys who do the warring, and then you got the guys who help the warring, and that's how you win wars, right? And what it's saying is that a lot of you niggas help the warring. You don't do the warring, at least in the at the higher levels, talking about the Air Force, right? So, is what it is. Of the more than 123,000 surveyed, about 60% of Black service members believe they do not and would not receive the same benefit of doubt as white peers. So niggas always believe in racism. That is not a shock, but there's that. They believe it. And about 40% of Black enlisted civilians and officers do not trust their chain of command to address issues related to racism, bias, and disparate career opportunities. So maybe Black folk think there's racism holding them back. Let's read a little bit more. According to a snapshot of demographics in September 21, 15% of service members self-reported as Black or African American. Black officers represent 6% of the active duty population. Black officers were underrepresented in the more elite officer positions, IG found. Rated officers include pilots, combat system officers, air battle managers, remote piloted aircraft pilots, those are drones, and flight surgeons, that's like airplane tech, maintenance and whatnot. When it comes to the service's bread and butter mission, Black representation continues to remain nearly invisible. In 2021, the Air Force accounted for 13,789 active duty officers with a pilot aeronautical rating, according to service data. Of those officers, only about 2% were Black pilots. Now we're just getting into a little bit more life story stuff here. Nothing really revelatory. Oh, I am George Floyd. Look, of course, there's a George Floyd reference because it's 2022. But you see the issue here, y'all? Do you see the problem? Now, I would love for there to be a few more Black pilots, but not a lot, because then it start to look crazy.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
So all I'm saying is that, and we're gonna wrap this up really shortly here, but and thank y'all for coming out tonight. But all I'm saying is that, and shout out to Keeping 100. You kind of been here to hear the entire clapback. But and it's not even a clap back because it wasn't like we was beefing, but I just didn't get a chance to really get into the specifics of it all. And all I'm saying is, don't just assume racism, bro. As a group, as a community, we have performance issues. It's what it is. It is what it is, brother. And as far as Black pilots go, I think we should be cool with the 300 is plenty, bro. Like, I mean, listen, bro, do you understand how rare that air is? I don't even want just any old regular degular white guy up in the air making decisions and pressing cool buttons and shit. I want elite I want the Top Gun. You know what? Actually, matter of fact, speaking of Top Gun, if you go back and watch the original Top Gun movie with Tom Cruise, right? I feel the need for speed in the entire Top Gun Academy. And the entire, and this is Hollywood, so you know, don't get all extra like literal and shit. This is Hollywood historical magic. But all I'm saying is, in the entire Top Gun Academy, there was only one fucking white guy. I mean, sorry, white guy. In the entire Top Gun Academy, there was only one black guy. Go back and check. There was only one black guy. And I think he was a co-pilot. They had the nigga on weapons and shit. Because back then it was F-16 Tomcats. It was made for two people. It was complex and shit. They didn't have AI in airplanes like we do now. But that was just the reality. Even in a group of random elite white men, it's not uncommon to find a couple of black guys. But don't get excited because there's not like 50 of them niggas. Don't get excited because the whole group isn't black. Like I just saw a picture the other. Let me see if I can pull this shit up. I hope I bookmark this shit because this kind of drives the point home. I mean, numbers are what they are for a reason, and it's not just because the universe hates your melanated black ass. There's a lot of other ways to approach explanations sometimes, but damn, I don't think I saved it. I saw a picture recently of a group of women that are firefighters in Alabama. They have an all black female firefighting house. Yeah, it's true. Diversity. DEI, here it is. Damn, I do have it. An all black female firefighting house, bro. Shit crazy, man. Can't make this shit up, bro.
Congratulations to these black women, man, doing really dope things in Central Arkansas. The first all black women crew has come together. I don't know if this is the first ever, but this is Central Arkansas's first for sure. They have 5 women work the whole shift together. There wasn't a fire or anything that went down, but they did the whole shift and they got that shit done. So I'm proud of them. For any male that's in Arkansas and you want a Division I athlete as a child, here go 5 potential. Here go a start lineup right here, bro. Hey, any woman that's willing to be a.
Some of them are kind of burly, no lie. I mean, if a fire started in the house, I would definitely throw one of those bitches on the fire to smother that shit. Because they look like they could actually smother a fire, honestly. Like, if they all together just laid down on top of a fire and just rolled side to side, left to right, if they all rolled over the fire in unison, they could smother the fuck out of that shit. There is a way.
Firefighter, and these 3 at the end, bro. Division I athletes is coming out of these women right here. That girl like 6'3". That bit right there play O-line like you, and they beautiful. These are some beautiful black women. Hey, but if you want you a potential first round draft pick, you need to go to Central Arkansas. I ain't gonna lie, they make me want to go to Arkansas and start a fire on purpose. I'm about to leave a dryer sheet in the dryer too long, or try to boil some water.
Yeah. Shout out to all you DEI niggas, man. Shout out to all you we need more diversity niggas, man. Shout out to all you program ass niggas. This is the result of the programs, right? This is what you program ass niggas wind up with.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for black women? Yes. I love black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make. Sorry.
Yeah, nigga, if you simping for government programs, 9 times out of 10, you are simping by extension. If you support government intervention in black lives, there's a 90% chance you are simping by extension. You are policy simping, nigga. You are simping by policy. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. We getting the fuck out of here. You have a good night. Hardcore Tito, my bad, but we not doing a panel link night tonight. You know, Hunter said we got to save our gunpowder. We got to keep the fire. We got to keep the powder dry, bro. We got to hold our fire until we actually meet up and the squared circle of political niggas that don't agree on nothing. So we gotta wait. We're gonna wait. You know, we're gonna practice patience and all that. I was just telling my son about patience today. Sometimes if you just fall back and wait, your enemies will destroy themselves and shit like that, you know. Patience, nigga. We gotta be cool. We gotta chill. We gotta calm down. But I'm getting the fuck up out of here, though. I'm gonna catch y'all niggas later. Shout out to Keep It 100. Be on the lookout. Politics as usual. Yo, 100. Listen, if we do the show, I don't know if you can do the thing where you can open up, and I will stream it off my channel too. We'll bring more people in there, but I'm gonna try to make myself available whenever you kind of get the details worked out. But Politics 100, politics as usual. Shout out to Keep It 100. We got an upcoming Kumite, as it were, and look for it in the next 2 weeks, I guess. Sometime in the next 14 days, I hope we can work this out, and we will have a political discussion. So far, I think fantastic. Ty City, Uncut Underground, Hardcore Tito, myself, and maybe perhaps one other to be determined participant in the future. And it's all going to happen over on Keep It 100's channel. And that being said, we are going to wrap this one up. Going to put this one in the bag. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for listening. My voice is kind of cracking. I think I might take a day off. I don't want to talk to you niggas no more. Gonna do something else. Go catch a fish or something.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.